Welcome back, folks. Well, we made it alive from the turn home from the AHRA 2025 AHRA No Name Nationals, and we had a blast being participants this year instead of just spectators. Total blast. So it was great seeing Mopar Joe and my friend Ross, his Challenger, and all the other RC industry, all the other YouTuber folks we saw out there. Mopar Al had a blast, total blast out there. So the Buick, how did we do with our Buick? Well, not bad, but definitely not good. It definitely didn't run what I expected it to run. But hey, no surprise there, right? So we get there, get into tech, and we make our first pass. Off the trailer was really our quickest pass, and I'm sure it was air related as well. It was in the morning, so the heat hadn't really...
Not only removed the transmission this morning, but Jamie also tore it apart, fixed it, put it back together, and reinstalled it, and he's going to make it for round number 1 on triple crown. Well, I say fixed. We'll find out. But he's at least going to give it a shot. In our 6-cylinder class, the Valiant, continuous indirect connection off and running. And the Buick gets the win. The Grand National down on 920 runs 953, 74 miles an hour. And Tanya got caught sleeping.
Heat hadn't really taken hold yet, but there was a lot of humidity, but the car definitely has some issues that I believe we can get resolved. So our first run off the trailer, just to do qualifying times and see what we're going to dial in, was a 9:16. .17, 8th mile, and it was, if you look, this mile an hour was almost dead consistent every single pass. Now I'm looking at this mile per hour. That's really low, I believe, for what this car should be running. It seemed like when we went into it, launched really hard and really well, just depending on how much boost you could sit there and hold on the line, but when it would go into third gear, it just seems like it laid down. I don't know if it was pulling boost. I have the factory boost gauge. I don't know if it was fuel pressure, but it wasn't detonating, wasn't pinging. I don't know. Maybe it was pulling timing. Not really sure. But every run we would run, and in the weather, as it heated up, you can see We ran our 917 again at 74. Ran another run here. Let's see. We ran a 921 again at 74 mile an hour. And then we ran, I believe, another one here. This was just a time trial, a 9.3 at 74 mile an hour. Notice how the mile an hour doesn't change. A 9.3 at 74 mile an hour. A 9.2. Let's see, excuse me, is that me? No. This was in the heat of the day. It was definitely slowing down. A 9.5, but 74 mile an hour. And again, over here.
A good Ford shirt.
I don't want to get in your way.
However, he asked me to ask this trivia question. What year did Chrysler introduce the Hemi engine? The original hemispherical chambered engine. What was the first year Chrysler had the Hemi? And I got a shirt here from Jeff at 2 Hacks. Oh, also, if you have a Fury 9-inch shirt member, you'd be interested in that. All right, we are back. That's the first pair of this. At the stripe, when light goes to Kim fixes things, dial 1158, runs 1180, and takes the win and advances on to round number 3.
Here, where we broke out or whatever, a 9.3 at 74 mile an hour. There was a few launches in there. They had sprayed the track down with VHT, and for this car, it was very sticky. Yeah, I can see a 922 at 74 mile an hour. One of the things I learned on this car is these tires did fantastic, by the way. They did a great job. Probably because maybe the car's not making, big power. But whenever I got really up hard on the boost, this thing went into severe, violent wheel hop. And I'll try to post that in the video here. But the wheel hop was horrible. And it was like the whole car was bouncing. I know it was the rear end. My friend Rodney Bird was watching this, and Trish was filming from the other end, and both of them said that car, those tires were just bad. And I really need to check, make sure those U-joints are good, because I'm hoping we didn't do a little damage. So probably not going to do any crazy stuff till we check that and inspect it. But a lot of fun. Now, again, the car has the factory turbo, factory wastegate. I think what we're going to do is next year, we're going to do some test and tuning here on a local track in Oklahoma, probably with both this car and maybe even the Barracuda. And we are going to go to the Buick GS Nationals in 2026 in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I think that's what we're going to do. But before we go, this is going to be a work in progress. And I think what we're going to do is try to get some things resolved. So my Buick friends, I know what you're telling me. I can hear it through the screen. get a damn fuel gauge. We can see what it's doing in third gear, and you're telling me get a reliable boost gauge to put probably right here on the A-pillar. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll probably pull some plugs, check it out, see how they look. But again, we had a blast at the 2025 AHRA Nationals, No Name Nationals. A blast. Thanks everybody for coming by and saying hello. We had a good time saying hello to everybody else. So anyway, please like, share, and subscribe, everybody, and y'all have a great day.